Hello. So did you know that yesterday Mercury just retrograded into Aquarius?
Oh my God.
And it's a big deal. Move so I can feel the sun, the warmth of the sun. I miss it. We actually went rock climbing today and I think we got sunburned.
I am a little sunburned. I'm a little wiped
really
out.
Nice. So Mercury retrograde into Aquarius. And if you don't know, millionaires don't study the astrology. Millionaires don't study astrology.
Don't follow astrology.
Billionaires follow astrology, and there's a reason for that. And I sent out an email to our email list yesterday about it with a little bit of inspiration. And I knew I was naturally going to get a few questioners and a few people arguing back with me, and that's okay. I encourage you to disagree with me, because part of this retrograde is that it affects communication, logic, and critical thinking. And so part of me was partially poking the bear. Like, I'm encouraging you, even in this, because Victor's like, oh, you're going to talk about this? You're going to lose some subscribers. I'm like, look, it's important for us to have these dialogues, because I truly want to see humanity thrive, and I want to see families thrive. I want to see individuals thrive. And so in order for us to thrive again, we have to stop and think about what our beliefs are. We have to stop and ask ourselves, are we acting logically here? And we absolutely have to communicate what we're feeling, what we're thinking in an open space.
We've never lived in a time where so many people have been so polarized, yet can't talk. Think about that. They're like, as soon as they open up, it's like that meme you showed me of, how they cover their, I don't want to hear you.
From Dumb and Dumber, and they're like, you present all this information, like, I don't hear anything you're saying.
And so there's something amiss.
There is. And the funny thing is that for us, we knew something was amiss 5 years ago when we chose this lifestyle, and I just had no idea it was as deep and evil as it is. But there was something amiss in that. I'm like, why am I struggling to earn all this money and not get to keep it? I'm just giving all this money to these landlords, and banks, and I'm like, geez, I could go live this way and I could make a fraction of the money and completely enjoy my life. In fact, be way happier. So we were questioning some of this stuff so long ago. And I mean, the big thing is until you got to escape the normal workday.
Yeah, that's why I always encourage people to try to, it's to defy the norm that we're talking about. Look, you need to try to know what it feels like. So at least you're like, I did that. It's not for me. Thanks. But a lot of people, they don't really realize how deep embedded you are. I know I went through this when I was traveling back and forth during the lockdown with my family. I had to go through a 3-day detox.
Yeah.
So let me just paint a picture here. I was working for about 2 weeks, and then I'd visit them wherever they were.
Working in San Diego for 2 weeks.
It's California. You know how tight lockdowns are working. But I was working one-on-one with people, but I was still in my own facility in San Diego. Very limited interaction with any of the issues associated, and it would still have a negative impact on my wellness when I got back to them. When I got to them in
what that
South
detox
Dakota,
he means is so I'd pick him up. He was just so on edge and so just drained, and there was no vibrancy to him. And I mean, I joke I picked up a robot, and then after a couple days of being with us, it would be seriously 72 hours later, he'd wake up and I'd be like, oh my gosh, you're back. Oh my God, I love you so much. It's so great to have you. But it was almost like nails on a chalkboard internally for him, I think, that you don't really know. He's like, what do you mean there's something wrong with me? I don't get what you mean there's something wrong with me. I'm like, you're just so tightly wound and irritable.
It was essentially, the simplest way I could put it is, I was ready for an altercation. I was ready to, something's going on. I'm on edge. I'm hypervigilant. There's lots of ways to describe it. And it's not a real healthy way to live. It's not a real way to be able to open a communication.
Oh no, it's so hard. Every time I drop him at the airport, I've just thought all right, we're going to endure 10 days and then we're going to endure 3 more days of fallout. And then it'll be great again. So, I definitely, poke people because we're in St. George, and I really love the fact that you know, yesterday we see a lot of, look, I see a lot of people fight back. I understand it. I'm super sad. We had a death in the family recently. It's not right. I'm not saying, but that there's not something happening. I'm just saying that we need to question what might be happening. And you know, if I say the mask word, everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're anti-mask. I'm like, look, I just think freedom's important. We get to choose. And if the idea, you know, there's plenty of data that wearing a mask does not change the numbers. There's plenty of cities, communities where full lockdown, masks, they're all in masks, and they have so many more supposed cases. It's like, it's irrelevant. That's not what we're trying to say here. This is not that debate. This is a debate encouraging you to go beyond that, to question the bigger picture. What if it wasn't just the sickness that we see? What if it wasn't just like if you're wearing a cloth on your face or not? What if there is something like deeper for humanity? Because the people who question and fight back with me, I'll usually be pretty good about opening the dialogue and say like, look, I want humanity to thrive again. And when we chose this lifestyle 6 years ago, it was so we could thrive again, because I noticed, I'm like, this is not thriving. I pay all this money for a mortgage and grind out. My husband would work 12 hours a day, and you go like, well, for what? You know, this is like the passion, the connection, the enjoyment of life. That's what it's supposed to be about. So we definitely encourage you with the new, you've got about, I don't know, I think the Mercury Retrograde in Aquarius happens for 20 more days.
And you might actually be feeling all this.
And then
already.
yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I want to talk to someone about something.
Like something feels right, right or wrong. Yeah, like if you start questioning, that's all. That's all we're saying. Just question it. Like go down that. If you feel the urge to go down it, you know, email me. I'll definitely talk to you about it, because it's really cool. I remember, I totally believe that we are about to like jump to 5D if we want. Think about it like this world where we're driven by love and connection and trust. And I don't know about you, but I don't see a lot of that around here. I mean, yesterday we were at Pioneer Park, and it was really cool to see all these families. And it almost seemed like there are a lot of church groups or communities coming together and like out exploring. And it was a pretty
awesome experience to see a level of normalcy return, people finally making a decision.
People
smiling. People smiling. You could see them through their masks. And then there's
they didn't have masks on?
That's what I said.
Oh.
And there's a level of vibrancy. You can see someone when you have someone here. Even if I'm smiling, you really can't tell. So
yeah, like no one really had masks where we were at and so it was nice to see everybody smiling, like actually see their smile. They're hugging each other goodbye. It was really nice. I'm like, come on, we're like begging for that in the world. That's not right. Really? Like, I mean, I need more shirts. Bring back the hug. That's going to be the next clothesline after Defy the Norm.
Next clothing line, next t-shirt.
Bring back the hug. All right, so little Sunday afternoon inspiration. See you guys tomorrow.